This video is looking at algebra, but when we are asked to expand an expression, you might be asked to expand fully. Sometimes it's referred to as multiplying out the bracket. So I'll give you an example of an expression that you may want to expand. Okay, so I've got an expression. There's various terms within this expression. I've got the term here a, and I've got a plus 3, and that's all inside brackets, and I've got 2 outside the bracket. So it means I've got 2 lots of all of this. Could almost imagine my the brackets here are they're like a bag or a package. So I've got to use that 2 that's outside. It's got to be applied to absolutely everything inside here. I've got 2 lots of all of this. So 2 lots of a plus 3. I could write it out. Well, I've got a plus 3, and I've got another a plus 3. That means exactly the same thing. And I could then say, well, I can collect up my like terms because I've got an a here and an a here. That's going to give me 2a, and I've got a plus 3 and a plus 3. So that's going to give me a plus 6. So I could look at it like that to say, well, yes, I can see that I've got 2a plus 6 altogether. What we want to do, though, is we want to be able to do the expanding as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. So what we must notice, this 2 that's outside of the bracket needs to be applied to everything inside the bracket. So the first term inside the bracket is this a. So if I'm thinking of this 2 and I've got to multiply it by that a, that gives me the 2a here. 2 times a is written as 2a. Then I think back to the next term in the expression, and I've got to multiply that 2 by that plus 3. So 2 multiplied by plus 3 gives me the plus 6. So I can use what some people might refer to, it looks like a cat's claw, because you've got various things reaching over into the bracket, but that 2 gets multiplied by every term inside the bracket. Okay, so we've got another example. Here I've got a 2a outside of the bracket, and then inside the bracket I've got a subtract 3b. The 2a outside the bracket means that this is multiplied by this whole bracket. Everything in here has got to be multiplied by 2a. So imagining the cat's claw coming over, I've got 2a multiplied by a. So that gives me, well, 2a multiplied by a is 2a squared, because it's 2a times by a. That's going to be 2a squared. And then I've got 2a multiplied by 3b. Now, 2a times by 3b, 2 times 3 gives me 6, and an a times a b is just written as ab. Now, the other thing that I've got to take into consideration is this sign. This sign here is a minus sign, so I must put in here a minus sign, because it was in fact 2a multiplied by minus 3b. So I had a positive multiplied by negative. Of course I end up with a negative. So that has expanded my expression. That is multiplied out to those brackets. So the golden rules that we have to remember when we are expanding an expression or multiplying out the brackets. So the term that is outside the bracket has to be multiplied by every term inside the bracket. And if the term that's outside the bracket is positive, or in fact if it has no sign there at all, then you know it would be positive, then the sign inside the bracket does not change. If the term outside the bracket was a negative, then of course your signs that are inside the brackets, they would then change.